Today I wanted to make a video about my most anticipated reads for between the next 2 months, so April and May. These are my most anticipated of the year, really, so I hope to get to them within the next couple months. The first one I did not buy a physical copy of because they were like 20 bucks, so I decided to get it on my Kindle, which was super cheap. And that's 8 Perfect Murders, and you're not going to be able to see it because of the glare, by Peter Swanson. Peter Swanson is my favorite author. He has written A Kind Worth Killing, which I read last year, Her Every Fear, which was another one of my favorites, Before She Knew Him, that was also really good. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this. When I found out he was coming out with a new one this year, I was stoked and I wanted to get it right away, but again, they're really expensive, so we're gonna do the e-reader this time. I'm old-fashioned and I like holding my physical book in my hand. So the next one that I want to talk about, I just picked up from Target. I paid full price for this because I wanted to read it so bad. Someone had mentioned it in their YouTube channel, and then when it finally came out, I purchased it right away, and that's Dog Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. And I believe, if I'm correct, this is her debut novel, so I'm really excited to check her out. And this is about a forbidden romance between a student and teacher. I don't know too much about the details. I just know that it's the forbidden romance, which I've only read one other book with a forbidden romance, and I actually really didn't like it. And I know it's raved about among many, but I just didn't like it at all. So hopefully this is a good one, and if not, I might just put down that trope altogether. And I just love the cover. It's got a butterfly on it and a pretty girl face. Yeah, I'm really excited to read this one. This might be the next one I pick up because I've been reading a lot of thrillers and I'm kind of getting bored with them. And then I have 2 along the similar storylines, and these were both recommended by a book outlet unhaul from Jacqueline, Books and Brew, I think is her channel. And the first one I've heard from multiple people, and that is Darling Rose Gold by Stephanie Robel. This is about a young girl named Rose Gold and her mother, and it's their story and how the mother has Munchausen syndrome. I feel like I never said that right. And she pretty much makes her daughter sick for her own gain, beneficial gain. And I don't know all the details of it, but from what I've heard, the mother is just getting out of prison, and she's looking to live with her daughter and reform their relationship, and it's about which way Rose Gold goes. So I'm really excited to read this, and the cover is also really cool, and it's another butterfly, and I didn't even notice that happened, but maybe it's the invitation to spring. And then along the lines of Darling Rose Gold was this one also I found on Book Outlet, and that's Saving Meghan by DJ Palmer. This is along the same lines of the Munchausen syndrome by proxy, which a rare behavioral disorder where the primary caretaker seeks medical help from their child's health problems, conditions the adult has actually made up or even caused. And so these mothers are physically making their child sick. Don't know how, can't wait to find out. And it's really sad. I feel like this is an up-and-coming topic with movies and shows and now books. It's actually really interesting to me, so I'm excited to read this one as well. The next one I'm going to talk about is very well known by many people. I've heard it so many times, and I just haven't picked it up yet. I've owned it for quite some time, and that is The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. And this is, I think, more of a mystery than a thriller, which is why I haven't picked it up yet. I do like mysteries, but I have to be in the mood, and usually when I'm in the mood for a mystery, I'm in the mood for a thriller, so I kind of trumps the other. This one's about Evelyn Hardcastle, who dies, and every day one of the people in the story comes back to life as a different person of the party that was being hosted when Evelyn Hardcastle was murdered. And his job is to identify the killer and by using those days that he comes back as a different character, by using those days, he will find who the killer is. So I'm really excited to read this. I've heard so many good reviews about this. It's a little under 500 pages, but it looks like it's going to be a quick read. So I probably get to this month because I am kind of in the mood to read this. One that I don't know much about, but I've heard really good things about it, and it's a very well-known author, is All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. This is a very loved, worn copy that I got from BookOutlet, really cheap. I fell in love with Colleen Hoover after reading Verity. I absolutely loved that book. So I checked out Maybe Someday, also by Colleen Hoover, and that book was so good. It didn't have any of the suspense thriller that she threw into Verity, but it was equally as good. I loved that book. I loved the characters, and I'm so excited to own more of hers and also read them. So All Your Perfects is probably my next Colleen Hoover, probably my next romance, because she just knocks it out of the park for me. And they wrote a little blurb on the back that says, "Can a love story with a perfect beginning survive a lifetime between two imperfect people?" I have heard that this is actually pretty serious contemporary, so we'll see. And the last book I want to talk about is one that I've actually already started, and I kind of like stuck on whether I want to finish this one right now or not. And this was a Gabby recommendation from Gabby Reads, and I'm on page 22. I loved his first book, and this is The Passengers by John Marr. I say first book, that was not his first book. I think this one was before that one, but because that one was such a big hit, this one is now becoming a big hit. And this is really interesting because it's about, I think, another few perspectives. I want to say there's 5, maybe 4 perspectives, and they're in the future. It's in a futuristic setting where the cars are self-driving, and each person gets in their car. So far, the chapters have started out with each person getting in their car right first thing in the morning to go to work, to go wherever they need to go, and the car just stops following the directions that it's supposed to be following to get where they need to go. And it says you will arrive at your destination in 2 point whatever hours, and nobody knows what's going on. And so I'll read in the synopsis real quick because I really, really love it, and it's actually super short, but it gives you just enough to get kind of like hooked. You're riding in your self-driving car when suddenly the doors lock, the route changes, and you have lost all control. Then a mysterious voice tells you you are going to die, and that's within the first 5 chapters. Just as self-driving cars are becoming the trusted, safer norm, 8 people find themselves in a terrifying situation, including a faded TV star, a pregnant young woman, an abused wife fleeing from her husband, an immigrant, a husband and a wife, and a suicidal man. From cameras hidden in their cars, their panic is broadcast to millions of people around the world. But the public will show their true colors when they are asked, which of these should we save and who should we kill? So super enticing. I can't wait to actually get into this. Like I said, I'm only on page 22, but I think because I left off on Daisy Jones and the Six, and I couldn't get out of that mindset. It took me a while to start up a new book because it's been 3 days and I have not read anything. So hopefully I have the right mindset to get into this. But we are on day 11 or 12. I can't even remember. I'm losing count of quarantine. And I am starting to feel the boredom, which is why I'm doing these videos and hopefully entertaining someone out there. And the weather's been super, super crappy, but it's finally nice out. So we're gonna get some yard work done today. And that would be Cassie. Hey. So we're gonna get some yard work done today, and then I'm probably gonna go make some lunch, and that's the extent of today. So I hope you guys are all staying safe and staying inside and reading more, and we will talk soon. Bye.